YouTube, what the crap's going on? I wanted to show you another online battle. This one's going to be another one from a viewer that got sent in. Let's take a look at this one. It's going to be Chaos versus Bretonnia. That's an interesting matchup. Oh, check out this Chaos build. 3 Giants, 1 Knights with Lances, looks like 1 Marauder Horseman with Throwing Axes, 3 Forsaken, 3 Aspiring Champions, Chaos Lord. We'll see what Bretonnia's been going to be fielding the King Luam, and I'll have to go look at his ability, but his ability, the Beloved Son of Bretonnia, has been changed a little, and I've been told that it makes him stronger. I'm not exactly familiar with what was changed, but you got Leon Kerr here and 2 Paladins, and he's coming up against, there's a couple Knights of the Realm over here. So the Giants build here with Chaos is, I still like it. Yes, Bretonnia has a lot of missiles and spears, but if you can go tie those units down and just start pummeling through with the Giants, the spears in and of themselves aren't wildly effective if they're getting hit by something like these Forsaken that he's got here. So you can see the Bretonnian player moving in just to kind of scout out the situation. And let's fast forward. This is quite a long battle. Let's just watch to see if Bretonnia makes any attacks here. Their Knights of the Realm are moving around the flanks. There's a Marauder Horseman and a Knight with Lances. I don't think that the Knight with Lances would really like to have this fight. Now I was thinking, okay, Bretonnia's not attacking. They're just circling around up above this. And it looks like Chaos may try and take this path through the woods, and that's what I would do, because these woods are going to give him cover instead of just attacking straight into that. And if they can keep these cavalry hidden for as long as possible, that would actually be really useful. Knights of the Realm don't have a bonus versus large, which is going to make it a lot safer world for the Giants to live in. You can see the Chaos player pretty content to stay up here on the hill. The Field Trebuchet, let's check its range. Thought I was checking its range. It should show the range. It's firing. Okay. It hasn't gotten any kills yet, though. I figured it would show its range here on the ground when I mouse over it, but it's not. This Marauder Horseman, ooh, this is nice actually. If the Marauder Horseman can stay in front of these flying units, which they probably can't because Leon Kerr's got 100 speed. But look at this though, luring them to the ground. Nice call, I like that though, because he'll take damage from the charge, but he can get away. And then the Throwing Axe is doing some damage here before the fight. I like it. It's a nice harassment. It's about all he can do at the moment. He's used most of his ammo, but hey, at least he'll bleed off some of the regeneration of Leon Kerr, and then some of the hit points on these Paladins. You might as well. It's going to have to get spent at some point if you want to kill him. So I kind of like this. The Throwing Axes should do good damage to flying units, and especially well-armored ones like Leon Kerr. Yeah, you can see pretty nice damage there. I like this. Good chase. These Throwing Axe Horsemen are still pretty expensive for what you get out of them, in my opinion. But, like I said, might as well do a little bit of damage. Just throwing axes, hurling axes up in the air, and then wondering where they're going to come down. That would be an interesting game that these guys are playing. See Chaos still kind of just running around, kiting a little bit of the replenishment out of Leon Kerr. Leon Kerr trying to charge down, and he actually does get a hold of the Marauder Horseman here with throwing axes, but not doing a ton of damage because he doesn't really want to stay in that fight. And it looks like maybe he's trying to pin the Knights of the Realm back in the corner here. That's a good call. I don't know if he's shown his Chaos Knights with Lances yet. They're hidden at the moment. They've been hit, though, by something, so they must have been shown. Continual harassment of Leon Kerr here, really dealing a significant amount of hit point damage. So I like that. The Bretonnian player not able to micro properly at the moment. And Leon Kerr is going to pay a price for it in the sense that he won't be able to replenish those hit points later. The Field Trebuchet is taking shots at these Marauder Horsemen. And the Marauder Horseman being an excellent nuisance right now. It's picked up a chevron from the amount of damage it's done as well. So doing a chevron's worth of hit point damage to Leon Kerr and Paladins is definitely not a bad deal. And I like how the Chaos player is kind of just moving around here, trying to make the Trebuchet be less accurate in the end. He's out of ammo on the Marauder Horseman. I almost think he needs to just swing around this army here and go try and put some pressure on the Field Trebuchet, and that may draw away some of the heroes for the fight as well. Of course, the Field Trebuchet is going to be fairly expendable in this fight. It's not going to be very useful because it's not going to do much to Forsaken or Giants. In fact, I mean, I'm not even sure that field trebuchet has a ton of value unless you're using it to shoot at very high armor units. Now, the giants here are going to be in a lot of trouble, but here comes this knights with lances out of the wood. It's moving. I think the paladins have spotted it, but it's going to come in and immediately start disrupting a lot of these archers. It puts a charge, or no, the knights with lances is now coming in, so a bunch of the archers are going to get charged. All the giants have to do is just come in and plow through the spear line, and you can see the Bretonnian players in very blocky formations, but it doesn't matter. The giant's just going to plow on through. And it looks like he's going to push in and try and get to the Lord and get back into these archers, and that's exactly what they should do. Let the Forsaken destroy the spearmen. They will do it very, very well. And look at this. The Knights with Lances just going to go for maximum damage on the archers, which is a perfect choice. One giant back here already. It's going to keep pushing on in. The Knights with Lances racking up about 40 archer kills already. And then Leon Kerr just got swatted by a giant there. He's going to be taking massive damage. And remember, he's already replenished a bunch of his hit points from the throwing axes, so I like it. Forsaken doing huge damage to the spearmen. The spearmen are starting to rout because of their peasantly nature. Is this the damsel came in here as well? What kind of spells does the damsel have up? Probably just Uranan's Thunderbolt or something. She doesn't have much. Just looks like the buffs, but they weren't able to be used in time. The Forsaken is just going to town on all the spearmen, and they'll be able to catch up with archers too if the archers get tired from firing. But a lot of these spearmen are going to get away, and it looks like Chaos is trying to mob these paladins and other units while they're still on the ground, and they're going to get some serious damage done. And it looks like they forced one of them to use their healing potion. So Leon Kerr in trouble. Still two Knights of the Realm way back up here in the back for Bretonnia though. But Chaos having plowed through most of the infantry. Of course, the infantry is not where the real strength of the Bretonnian army lies, though. I mean, men-at-arms with polearms are pretty good units. Like this here, the Knights with Lance is able to keep up with the Paladin and keep it on the ground. And it looks like the three giants, all alive, though in varying degrees of health. This Forsaken chasing down a few spearmen. I think the Forsaken need to get back over towards the giant. The Bretonnian player is just going to run off and try and keep as many of his units alive for as long as he can. And I like what the Chaos player is doing here, though. If Bretonnia has their flying units and cavalry all back up here, that's fine. Just bring all your units over here and chase down as many of these stragglers as you can, because these guys are all the way across the map trying to regroup for a later game conflict. So this is just going to allow, again, a lot of the Bretonnian units to be singled out and destroyed. Like the damsel there just got destroyed. She should have been away from this fight, especially if you're going to pull away all these other units. Both paladins survived. Used their potions and were able to get away, but again, mopping up all of these archers is going to make this a lot closer game in the end. All the giants, let's see where they're at. One right here chasing away some of these archers. Probably ought to swing the cavalry over here to go after the archers and then let the giants regroup somewhere else. Looks like the field trebuchet got chased off as well. Yeah, see, this is what you don't want to happen there. That archer getting a few pot shots. Leon Kerr is probably... he's still not maxed out on his healing. He must get to do a lot of healing, because he got hammered. Yeah, you can see Leon Kerr and the Paladin just kind of hovering above the Giants here, and with as many archers down as they have, they're gonna be in trouble. The Knights with Lances still very much alive, and it looks like they're charging after a Spearman over here. If they kill it on the charge, which they should be a worthwhile exchange. But somehow the spears are gaining leadership as the knight slammed into them. That's new. And then the knights pull out, so they'll take a little bit of damage pulling out of there. I'm surprised that spearman didn't insta-rout. It must have been the forest that saved him there. Looks like the Chaos Army is going to pull back and regroup. I'd love to see these knights come take out these bows. And then... but the Knights of the Realm still very much alive up here, and that could swing things. Knights of the Realm are going to be quite good versus Forsaken, which, look at that, the Forsaken just roll right in and roll right over the Peasant Bowman. I don't know if the Bretonnian player wasn't paying attention or what. And then over here we have Knights coming over to run down some of these Spearmen, and there's Giants over here too to keep the Flying Goon Squad from wanting to come down and destroy the Knights with Lances. Looks like the Trebuchet has gone back to its equipment. It's going to try and open fire. Some bows posted up over there while a bunch of the Forsaken are rushing kind of at this part of the engagement. And the Knights of the Realm, I don't know why they are waiting to be activated, But if these spears could help engage the Forsaken and let the Knights of the Realm do some charges, they could try and deal with a lot of the Forsaken here. But more and more of the Bretonnian army being routed off the field. Looks like the leadership for Bretonnia may be swinging back towards this engagement with the Forsaken, and finally the Knights of the Realm come into the play. And they ought to do extremely well versus Forsaken. Though Frenzy has been buffed in this patch, but they're not armor piercing. Knights of the Realm are well armored. There are some aspiring champions in here as well. They'll be a little bit tougher to crack, but you can see the Forsaken go down pretty quick. These Forsaken up here will do pretty well. Look at all the kills on those Forsaken. Really nice. Aspiring Champion is a great unit in the sense that it's kind of tough for enemies to kill. It's not impossible, but for the price, it's a pretty tough unit. And it looks like the Knights with Lances pack here, 170-something kills. Great mop-up activity. They've picked up a chevron from killing all these Bretonnian peasants. But the power bar is still kind of even here. And I guess that the, I didn't see it, but earlier it looks like the Bretonnians killed the Chaos Lord. I didn't catch that earlier. My bad. So let's see how this finishes out. These Bowmen over here getting some really nice damage done on the Giants. I like how the Chaos player is keeping some of his units together. This will be more protecting for them. The Bretonnian player shouldn't have let this Bowman get so singled out because he badly needs these archers. Now, if he blobs in against these Giants, it may not go as well as he would like, and these Knights of the Realm get interrupted by the Knights with Lances. Let's see if the aspiring, yeah, there's some Forsaken here, some aspiring champions that just came back. The Giants deal a lot of armor-piercing damage. You see this Paladin already suffering, and then Leon Kerr already badly beat in that fight. So he's being driven back very quickly, so you can't underestimate the amount of damage that Giants will cause to your heroes in numbers. Maybe one-on-one, they don't do a ton, but in numbers they will dish massive damage, even to heroes. So yeah, they're best dealt with some archers. I kind of want to keep it out of the cinematic mode temporarily so that we can see how this pans out, because it is a very close fight at this point. Giants dishing out some nice damage here. They should be doing very well versus Knights of the Realm, but not a lot of leadership left here for Chaos either. These aspiring champions coming back are actually critical because they buff the morale of nearby units. Leon Kerr trying to take a quick rear charge here at the Giant. It's going to be pretty effective. And now that they're down to one Giant, Chaos has lost a significant amount of power, but Leon Kerr is going to end up getting punched in the face here by this Giant before he gets out of combat. Very dangerous situation for Bretonnia here, because if Leon Kerr goes down, it's going to be bad. Oh, and he does. So Bretonnia just takes a mighty loss there. There's 2 units of aspiring champions that came back, and that's going to buff up the leadership of the Giant, and it actually turns into a Chaos victory there. So yeah, those aspiring champions kind of tilted that back whenever their Encourage Aura came and helped keep the Giants in that fight just a bit longer. And then their armor-piercing damage, again, can't be underestimated against flying units like Leon Kerr. It is significant. Looks like the Chaos Lord probably just got singled out by the Goon Squad. Aspiring champions, again, they're good units to pull their weights if you know how to use them right. And then the Chaos Knight with Lances going double chevron, 210 kills, impressive performance. Forsaken, as expected, does extremely well versus the Peasant Spears. They're not going to do much at all. And again, if you can't keep your Bowmen alive, then the Giants are going to run amok. So a risky but interesting army pick against Bretonnia. And interesting battle. Enjoyed this one. Appreciated Tubbers sending that in. Hope you all enjoyed it as well. HeirofCarthage, signing out.